Good morning, everyone. In today's class, I will again start chapter number 2. And like previous class, again I will explain the chapter, the remaining part of the chapter. I have started my chapter with computer system, and I explained that like any other system, such as a school system, we have different parts in a school system. Same way, in our a computer system is not made up of one or two things, rather it has many components. So I'll share screen for you. Now I'm sharing screen. Screen is shared, and I will open the pages which I am going to teach you. Chapter number 2, like introduction. A system is a group of various components that together that work together to achieve a specific goal or target. Okay, so this I have already explained, and then I have explained computer hardware and software part. Computer has basically two parts, hardware and software. Hardware parts are those parts which take some space, which has some weight, and also we can touch it. And basically, hardware is used for the different components of computer. Then we went for the category. Then next point was categories of the computer hardware. Okay, and the category of computer hardware is system unit, input output, storage, and devices. Okay, so system unit I have explained, like the cabinet which you get. The CPU normally we call it as, it has many things in stored in it. That is, it has CPU, it has memory chips, it has motherboard, power supply, CD, DVD drives, floppy disk drives, hard disk drives, etc. So next I have taught you about the output input unit. I think input output units. Input which takes the input from the user. The hardware consists of the devices that allow people to put data. That takes input from the user. That's what I'm using here. The word such as keyboard, mouse, etc. And output devices are those devices where they display the data or that can be printed onto the paper, or the like audio or video we get on the screen. These are the results of the output devices. So output devices are monitor, printer, speakers. Okay. Next is your storage. Now storage is divided into two parts: internal storage, primary memory we say, and secondary memory. So within the motherboard in the computer system cabinet, the memory chips are installed and secondary storage devices are connected to them. The memory chips deals only with the temporary storage. Secondary storage or permanent storage stores your data as long as you want. So I'll go quickly so that I will teach you the new things today. Next, I have taught you about the devices. You must be familiar with the term peripheral devices, that number of hardwares you can attach to a computer system, such as you can attach a camera, you can attach a scanner, you can attach printer, etc. And then primary and secondary two types of memories are there. Primary memory are temporary memory, whereas the secondary is a permanent memory. Then for next point was units of memory. Memory capacity is denoted by bits and bytes, and then multiples of it. Okay, like 1024 KB makes MB, and 1024 makes 1024 MB makes 1 KB, MB, then GB, and so on. So KB stands for kilobyte, MB for megabytes, and so on. So here one chart was given. I said, better to learn this: bit, byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, and petabyte. Then exabyte, zettabyte, and so on. These are all are the different units, storage units, which I have explaining you. I have already explained, in fact. And then the next point was primary storage devices. Now, what is primary storage devices? Primary storage is also called main memory. Primary storage is also called main memory. The two principal types of memory chips are RAM and ROM. RAM and ROM. RAM chips. RAM chips. RAM stands for random access memory. Chips temporarily hold RAM chips temporarily hold software instruction and data before and after it is processed by the CPU. You can think of memory RAM chip as a collection of boxes, each of which holds a single byte of data. Because its contents are temporary, RAM is said to be volatile. The contents are lost when the power goes off or is turned on. That is why This is why you should frequently say every 5 minutes save your work to a secondary storage medium such as hard disk. In case the electricity goes off, your work are intact, saved. RAM allows the stored data to be accessed in any order, that is at random. But I have used the word, okay, random access memory. Next, we'll come to the point here. ROM chips. ROM chips. Unlike RAM, to which data is constant, being added and removed, ROM only, that is read-only memory, cannot be written upon or erased by the computer user. ROM chips contain fixed startup instruction. These chips are non-volatile. Their contents are not lost when power to the computer is turned off. In computer terminology, read means to transfer data from an input source into the computer's memory or CPU. The opposite is right, to transfer data from the computer CPU or memory to an output device, that is when we write data. Thus, with a ROM chip, read only means that CPU can retrieve programs from the ROM chip but cannot modify or add to this. Normally, the ROM chip which we have on our system or our PCs, personal computers or laptops, etc., they are ROM chip because there are different parts of ROM also, that is EROM, EPROM, etc. But I'm not discussing that because that is erasable and it is programmable ROM. So I'm not explaining, just now it's not given. So here ROM chip. Now ROM chip has some instruction stored in it. When our computer starts, okay, a microprocessor gives instruction to ROM chip and the program written in ROM is automatically, or once the instruction is given by microprocessor, the program within the ROM is executed. Basically, you can say the instruction which you get at the startup of our system. When you start a system, the instruction you get HP, and then you check that checking RAM and checking hard disk and different peripherals, devices, etc. In the beginning, which you get is normally written in a ROM chip. A ROM chip has some BIOS program, basic input output system. Okay. And the ROM chip we can only write data. Once written, you cannot rewrite it. At the time of manufacturing, ROM chips are sealed. Once written, only the instruction of the ROM can be read. Okay, and after that, if the system is displaying those information onto the screen, that's okay. But you cannot write again on the ROM chip. At the time of manufacturing, when the ROM chip was uh, manufactured, that time only we can write some data into ROM. Understood? and ROM chips contains fixed startup. As I said, startup instruction. When you start a system, you get the information like Lenovo system and then your HP system or whatever system you have, and then it gives you the checking the system, and then shows RAM information, or even different BIOS setups we have. But I will not tell you to go for that, because if you make some changes in it, then your system will may not work properly. The BIOS setups you can't. So I'll give you example, but that example I cannot give you just now, because that information comes only at the startup of system. So that is the ROM chip. Secondly is next point is secondary storage device. Hopefully I have explained it well. These chips are again take it. These chips are non-volatile. Non-volatile means information is not lost. Their contents are not lost. Okay, written here in computer terminology. Read means to read. Read means transfer data from ROM chip to the uh, processor RAM. You can say, and then it displays onto the screen. No, normally it gives the startup information, and not in the RAM. So startup, that means only the information written in the ROM is read. Okay, and you cannot write it. Okay, and writing means when we write data in a computer system, that means whatever is there in the RAM, we are writing onto the hard disk. That means the writing. And one more, reading means I'll explain you. It's not written here. When you some data is stored onto the hard disk, when you take the data into RAM memory, and then you want to display or print whatever you want to do, that is also considered as reading. And once you are writing from the RAM to the hard disk, it is known as writing data. Okay. So secondary storage devices. Let us consider more traditional information. Let us consider more traditional forms of secondary storage, hardware devices that permanently hold data and information as well as programs. Illustrate commonly used secondary storage devices. Secondary storage devices are magnetic disk, optical disk, and memory storage devices. So they have divided into three parts, and then magnetic disk are floppy disk and hard disk. Floppy disks nowadays are not used. Just now I am not having the floppy disk. Otherwise, I can show it to you. Hard disk you are normally familiar. It is intact in the computer system. Now we are also having nowadays external hard disk. Many people use hard disk, external hard disk, and they attach that hard disk through a USB port to a computer system. And in case they want to copy some information, such like many people have stored some movies or photographs, pictures, etc. And if the primary hard disk is full, then they can take those data onto the secondary hard disk, and that hard disk they can attach with a cable, that is USB cable. Next is your optical disc explanation. Again, I think book is given, and I will explain it more. Now, next is optical disc. Optical disc are CD-ROM, CDR, CD, compact disc, read only, memory, CD, compact disc, read, CD, compact disc, read, write, and DVD, digitally versatile disc. Then next comes here, memory storage device, flash memory, and memory card. Okay. So one by one, I will explain these points to you. Compact disc, compact disc, optical disc, optical disc. Everyone who has ever played an audio CD is familiar. Now, now, okay, everyone who has ever played an audio CD is familiar with optical disc. An optical disc is a removable disc, usually 4.75 inches in diameter and less than 1/20th of an inch thick. One on which data are written and read through the use of laser beams. An audio CD holds up to 74 minutes of high fidelity stereo sounds. Some optical discs are used strictly for digital data storage, but many are used to distribute multimedia programs that combine text, visuals, and sound. The storage density of optical discs is enormous. The storage cost is extremely low, and the access time is relatively fast. An optical disc can hold over 4.7 gigabytes of data, the equivalent of 1 million typewritten pages. Nearly every PC marketed today contains a CD or DVD drive. See, I think this text is written not as per the need of today's system, because now many new systems are not having this facility, inbuilt facility. If you want to attach it, you can through USB cable or you can attach it. Okay. So like I have just got a new system. So they said, sir, there's no need of CD or DVD drives because it's are not used much. It's the time of pen drives and all. External hard disks you can attach. And hard disk itself is having a very large storage capacity. So, but still, CDs and DVDs are important storage device. I'm not denying that. These, along with their recordable and rewritable variations, are the two principal types of optical disc technology used with computers. Okay, then I figured they will show. Normally, I think you have seen at your home also. You are having optical or compact disc CDs we call it, or optical disc we call it. So that's normally it's silver color, round color disc. Okay, you are familiar with. Okay, so where you can two types of there, readable and read and write both. You can write also, and for that, in first we were having the Narrow Express to write data onto the CDs or DVDs. Okay, but in today's operating system, Windows 10, you can directly copy paste to the CD or DVD. The data is written on it. That you remember. Okay. But previously, this facility was not given with the Windows 97 and all. So there we have to use a special software, that is Narrow Express, to write it. Next, I will come here. They are explaining it. The types of optical discs are CD-ROM for reading only, CDR for recording on once. Some discs were you can write only once, and some discs were you can write number of times. Okay, CD-ROM for reading only for PC user. The best known type of optical disc is the CD-ROM, compact disc, read-only memory. CD-ROM is optical disc format that is used to hold pre-recorded text, graphics, and sound. So see here, it looks like this only. Either is a CD, DVD, or CD-ROM, CDR, or CDRW, whatever it is. It looks like the circular plate is there. It looks like this, and this is the drive of it. You attach it. Many system have, but I'm again telling you, as I have purchased new system, now the new systems are just not giving this facility because it's not much in use. So CD and DVD drives are of course an important component you must have, and CD device at a time at its own time it was a very good storage medium. But now we have a lot of pen drives. Pen drives, the storage capacity is also flash drive. We have cards which are also having a huge amount of storage capacity. So that's why it is not much in use. And the problem of CD, that if you are not keeping it properly in a case, or and if some scratches are coming on the CDs or DVDs, then it will stop working. That is why it is not much in use nowadays. Okay. Next is your CDR for recording on one CDR compact disc recordable. This can be written to only once, but can be read many times. Okay, you can view the disk on any personal computer. Next is CD-RW for rewriting many times. A CD-RW compact disc rewritable disk, also known as erasable optical disk, allows user to record and erase data, so the disk can be used over and over again. CD-RW drives are becoming more common on microcomputers. CD-RW devices are useful for archiving and backing up large amounts of data or work in multimedia production. Okay, or desktop publishing. CD-RW disks cannot be read by CD-ROM drives. They have another drive, that is uh, DV, there are different type of CD-RW disks have a capacity of 657. Now, after that, I'll come to the DVD. Once you are having a DVD drive, then that DVD can read the CDs also and DVDs also. DVD are the versatile video disc. A DVD-ROM, digitally versatile disc of digital video disc with read-only memory, is a CD-style disc with extremely high capacity, able to store 4.7 or more gigabytes. Many computer system, hopefully clear to you. So I'll not explain anymore. You have understood. It's like uh, silver round uh, circular plate type of disc, optical disc, है ना? And different types are there: CD-ROM, CDR, CD-RW, DVD. Many new computer systems now come with a DVD drives as standard equipment. A great advantage of this device can also take standard CD-ROM. That's what I told you. Once you have a DVD drive, so the DVD drive will read or write DVD also, and as well as CDs also. Not optical disk drives and different types of optical drives are mutually compatible. There are exceptions. So that's another thing. You should check product information before buying to make sure you get what you require. Okay. Next is comes here magnetic tape. Magnetic tape is secondary storage which can hold large volumes of data on it. The tape is sequential. As DVDs are circular in nature, so that I said ki, they are random access device, but I have used also the word pseudo random access device, not exact random access. So it's random but not exact. That's why I'm using the pseudo random access device. And magnetic tape is secondary storage device which can hold. In magnetic tape, the tape runs in a sequence. So it's a sequential access device. The tape is sequential access media and data on it can be accessed sequentially. Large files are stored on them due to their sequential access nature. They are not suitable for storage of data that are accessed randomly. Similar to the tape used on an audio tape recorder, magnetic tape is a thin plastic tape coated with a substance that can be magnetized. Data are represented by magnetized spots. Next, these magnetized stops or spots are also known as or non-magnet. See, those are magnetized are represented by 1 and those are non-magnetized represented by 0. Remember that. Magnetized are represented by 1 and non-magnetized are represented by 0. Today, mag tape is used mainly for backup and archiving, that is for maintaining historical records, where there is no need for quick access. Only large computer tapes are used on magnetic tape units or reels and in special cartridges. These tapes store up to 160 gigabytes. On microcomputer, tape is used in the form of tape cartridges Modules resembling audio cases that contains tape in rectangular plastic housing, but actually this works in a sequence. It goes in a sequence one by one. When you will open, you will get a long stripe of tape. An internal or external tape device drive is required to use tape media. Next comes here flash drive, and flash drive is also known as pen drive. It's the age of pen drive now. Mostly you people are also using pen drive. Flash drive is a compact device of the size of a pen, comes in various shape and stylish designs. Okay, such as pen shape, walnut shape, etc. And may have different added features such as with a camera, with a built-in MP3, WMA, M4 radio playback for music on the go, etc. It enables easy transport of data. From main thing is easy transport of data. Easily you can insert it into a system and you can copy the data and you can take it to the another system or to take another place. It is a plug and play. Just enter, attach it. That simply plug into a USB port of computer. There's no cable required because USB port you can directly connect it. The computer detects it automatically as removable drive. A flash drive does not require any battery. Okay, of course, as you attach it, the current flows automatically to it from the system itself and is compatible with most PCs, desktop, laptop, computers with USB port. All these features make it ideal external storage device for mobile people to carry or transfer data from one computer to another. It has the data retention capability of more than 10 years. Okay, and if it is used in a proper way, so more than 10 years. Okay. Available storage capacities are 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32, 64, and more now. Even more size have come. A pen drive of 16 MB capacity has, they have just given a figure here, who is using a pen drive of 16 MB. They are using in GBs. Okay. The figure shows it. This is the main cover. This is the body. This is the read-write light. When you attach it and the light is on, normally it's not an essential part because many pen drives have no lights, but still it works. Then it has a strap hole can be used to hang it. Okay, that's also some pen drives have, some have not available it. Write protect tab, part that plugs into a computer USB port. Okay. Next is your, this figure I have explained. LED light is there and also. Next is your a floppy disk, often called a diskette or simply a disk, is a removable part, a piece of mylar plastic package. And believe me, floppies are nowadays not in use, but still a part is in your part. So just for the sake of definition, you learn it. Okay. When school will open, I have kept some floppies for you. I will show it to you. Or some people may have floppies at their home. They can see. So I come here. Initially, when we have started learning computer, that time we have to start our system using a floppy disk. That time DOS operating system was used and we have to start our system by inserting a floppy. There was no hard disk even available. Okay. Floppy disk, often called a diskette or simple disk, is a removable flat piece of mylar plastic packaged in a 3.5-inch plastic case. Data and program are stored on the disk coating by means of magnetized spots. The plastic case protects the mylar disk from being touched by human hands. because if you touch it, then scratches will come and then it will not. And I'll tell you, the floppy disk for very sensitive device, many times, as first time it is working, the second time it will not work. So that was a problem with the floppy disk. That's why the floppy disk was replaced after that by CDs and then DVDs and all that. Floppy disks are inserted into floppy disk drive, a device that holds, spins, read data, forms, and writes data to a floppy disk. Read means taking data, this I've already explained, to the to computer memory, and write means copying the electronic information by the computer system to the storage, secondary storage. Either on the floppy disk also we can write. It was a read-write device. You can read also or you can write on it. On the diskette, data is recorded in concentric circles. They are known as tracks. There were a number of tracks, and the tracks were divided into sectors. On a formatted disk, each track is divided into sectors, invisible wedge-shaped sections used for storage and reference purpose. The read-write head is used to transfer data between the computer and the disk. Here they have given a floppy disk. When I will give you question answer, that time, I gave small definitions. So write protect notch allowed to prevent the diskette. This was the write program from being written. So if you put it on or off, hold it down and up, that way you can slide it in simple. I say slide it just to write, or if you don't want to write by mistake, if you are writing, then the data will go from it. So that was the problem. That's why this sliding hole was there, that notch was there, just to protect for being written something on the write protect notch allows to prevent this spread from being written to. Then high capacity hole, this is known as, then either index hole, then drive hole, where it is fixed. Okay, and then disk hub is there. Then hard plastic coating. This plastic coating ke andar we have this circular shape of floppy disk. Sliding cover that moves aside in disk drives to expose data access on disk. The floppy drive is of a moving head variety, and therefore the floppy can be removed and replaced by another. The head actually contacts the surface during reading writing, though in other times it is lifted up from the surface. The hole at the center is to allow a spindle to lock the floppy so that it can rotate. The index hole is used to recognize the starting sector of any track. The purpose of write permit notch is to protect valuable information recorded on the floppy from accidental damage. If this notch is covered, writing is not allowed on the floppy. Only reading is possible. If the notch is not covered, reading as well as writing is possible. Floppies offer a number of advantages. They are exchangeable. The storage capacity is high as compared to its size and weight. These are portable. Floppies are inexpensive, okay, as compared to hard disk, of course, but it also has a very less storage capacity. Common user of floppy disks are moving floppies, moving files between computers that are not connected through communication, like we have pen drives and all today, loading new programs onto the system, backup data, or program that primary copy of which is stored on hard disk. I will keep my class till this point only. Hopefully, whatever I have taught today is clear to you. I know this is theoretical, complete theoretical part. So I'm not teaching a lot of things so that it is boring for you. And whatever concept I am teaching you, I am explaining it also. So reading plus explanation of the chapter, once the chapter is completed, we will go for the question answers and fill in the blanks. And at that time, when I'll do the question answer, you'll find it very easy because you have already learning all the points, all the concepts here. Okay. So hopefully you have understood the basic concepts which I am teaching you, and just go through whatever I am teaching you. Question answers I will give you after the chapter is completed. Now, in next class, I will teach you the remaining part of the chapter. Take care of yourself. We'll meet in the next class. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.